Good morning, students. Today in accountancy, we are going to discuss about revaluation of assets and liabilities. So, revaluation of assets and liabilities are done at the time of admission of a partner to know the exact value of assets and liabilities. When a new partner enters in firm, it becomes necessary to revalue assets and reassess liabilities. This is done because there is increase or decrease in value of assets and liabilities over a period of time. And the profit or loss arising from revaluation of assets and liabilities is divided among old partners in their old ratio. Now we will go through the journal entries which we have to pass for increase or decrease in value of assets. The entries will be like this. Suppose if there is decrease in value of assets, the entry will be revaluation of asset account, revaluation account debit to asset account, being decrease in value of asset. And if there is increase in value of asset, then entry will be asset account debit to revaluation account. For example, if there is a plant and machinery worth rupees 1 lakh and there is increase in that value by 10%, then we will pass the journal entry for increase plant and machinery account debit to revaluation account 10,000. Same way, if there is a decrease, then entry will be revaluation account debit to plant and machinery account. Now, third entry is for increase in value of liabilities, revaluation account debit to liabilities account, being increase in value of liabilities. And fourth entry is liabilities account debit to revaluation account, being decrease in value of liabilities. For example, if there is a creditor which we have forget to who has not claimed any amount from us consisting of rupees 5,000, then entry will be decrease in creditor, that will be creditor account debit to revaluation account. Now if we make the assessment of these entries, then there may be increase on one side and decrease in other side. If there is increase in credit side, then we get the profit, and if there is increase in debit side more than the credit side, then we get the loss. And entry for profit of or loss for revaluation account will be revaluation account debit to old partners capital account, being profit on revaluation transfer to old partners capital account. And being loss, then entry will be old partners capital account debit to revaluation account, being loss on revaluation debited to old partners capital account. Now we will prepare revaluation account. There is a pro forma in front of you for revaluation account. You can see increase in asset is written on credit side of revaluation account by asset account, and decrease is written on debit side. And in the same way, increase in liability is given on the debit side to liabilities account, and decrease is written on the credit side of revaluation account, decrease in value of liabilities. And next you can see unrecorded liability and unrecorded asset. It means the asset which is not recorded in books of accounts, but when we have gone for the revaluation of assets and liabilities in the firm, then we came to know about that asset in that case the partners have to take this asset in their account. So if there is unrecorded asset, then entry will be unrecorded asset account debit to revaluation account, and posting will be like this by unrecorded asset. And in the same way, if there is a unrecorded liabilities, then entry will be revaluation account debit to unrecorded liabilities, and we have to write it on the debit side of revaluation account to unrecorded liabilities. If we make the total of account, then we can get increase on or decrease on any side. If debit side is more than the credit side, then we get the loss, and we have to write by loss on revaluation transfer to partners capital account. But if credit side is more than the debit side, then we get the profit that will be transferred to partners capital account. So this is the pro forma for revaluation account. You can go through this pro forma. Increase in asset by asset, decrease in asset to asset account, increase in liability to liabilities account, decrease in liabilities by liabilities account, unrecorded asset by unrecorded asset, and unrecorded liabilities to unrecorded liabilities. You can have an eye on this pro forma. After that, we will proceed for our next slide. Students, sometimes there is accumulated losses and profits available with the firm. New partner is not entitled to share these profits and losses, so these are distributed among partners. Partners here mean old partners, by transferring it to their capital account in their old profit sharing ratio. So it means when there is accumulated profits and losses, then we have to transfer them to old partners capital account in their old profit sharing ratio. Now we will pass the journal entry for accumulated profits and losses. Accumulated profits can be in the form of general reserve, reserve fund, profit and loss, investment fluctuation reserve, workmen compensation reserve, etc. And losses can be in the form of debit balance of profit and loss account, advertisement suspense account, deferred revenue expenditure account. So first entry for accumulated reserves and profits, you can see general reserve account debit, reserve fund account debit, profit and loss account debit to old partners capital account. Other reserve can be in the form of workmen compensation reserve, investment fluctuation reserve, that will also will be debited, and old partners capital will be credited as it is shown in third entry. And in narration you will write being accumulated profits and reserves transferred to old partners in their old profit sharing ratio. Now second entry for distribution of accumulated losses, old partners capital account debit to profit and loss account. As you are aware, this is the debit balance of profit and loss account, to advertisement suspense account, to deferred revenue expenditure account. So this is about the accumulated profits and reserves at the time of admission of a partner. Students, now we will take a numerical question. The question is like this. You can see on the screen, A and B are the partner and ratio is given as 3:2, and balance sheet status is as on April 1st 2015. Assets position is given and liabilities position is given in front of you. On that date, C is admitted into the partnership on the following term. C's admission is there, and there are different terms. You can see these terms. C is to bring 15,000 as capital and rupees 5,000 as premium for goodwill for 1 share, and value of stock is reduced by 10%, while plant and machinery is appreciated by 10%. Furniture is valued at 9,000. Provision for doubtful debts is created on sundry debtors 5%, rupees 200 is provided for an electronic bill, and investment worth rupees 1000 not mentioned in balance sheet. It means it is a unrecorded asset, and creditors is not likely to claim his money rupees 100 and is to be written off. You have to pass the journal entry and you have to prepare the revaluation account and capital account. So if we go through the journal entries, first entry will be regarding capital and premium for goodwill. As we have already discussed the treatment under the treatment of goodwill, entry will be like that: bank account debit to seize capital account to premium for goodwill. And second entry for the first case only will be premium for goodwill will be transferred to old partners capital account in their sacrificing ratio. As in this question there is no new ratio is given, and we have to distribute the premium for goodwill in the ratio 3:2 as sacrificing ratio. The value of stock is reduced by 10%. It means there is decrease in value of asset, so it will be shown in the debit side of revaluation account, and entry will be revaluation account to asset here mean to stock. And for plant and machinery to revaluation, and furniture is valued at rupees 9000 in the balance sheet. If you go through the balance sheet, the value of furniture is rupees 10,000, and here the value of furniture is given as 9,000. So in revaluation account we will record for increase or decrease of rupees 1,000 only. Again next in fourth statement it is given the provision for doubtful debts, which will be created on sundry debtors at the rate of 5%, and rupees 200 is to be provided for an electronic bill, means it is an outstanding bill. Then investment worth rupees 1000, it is an unrecorded asset, and creditors is not likely to claim his money, rupees 100 is to be written off. So first entry will for the entries we will proceed for the next slide. First entry will be bank account debit to seize capital to premium for goodwill. Capital is carried by C as rupees 15,000 and premium for goodwill is 5,000, and in bank account it will come as 20,000. Second entry, as we have already discussed, premium for goodwill to A's capital to B's capital, which is to be distributed in 3:2 ratio. Premium for goodwill debited by 5,000 to A's capital to B's capital 3,000 and 2,000. Now we will go for the revaluation of assets and liabilities. There is a decrease in value of furniture, stock, and provision is created on debtors. Debtors were given in the balance sheet as rupees 12,000 and 5,000 provision is created for that, comes as 600. So entry will be revaluation account debit to furniture 1,000, to stock 1,500, to provision for doubtful debts 600, and total will be 3,100. This is for decrease in value of asset. Now we will take increase. There is an increase in plant and machinery, and there is unrecorded investment worth rupees 1,000. So entry will be plant and machinery account debit to revaluation, and unrecorded asset investment to revaluations. We can combine this entry: plant and machinery account debit by 3,000, investment by 1,000, and total in revaluation is 4,000. Next is liability for electronic bill of rupees 200, revaluation account debit to electronic bill account 200. Then creditor is not likely to claim. It means there is a decrease in liabilities, sundry creditors account debit to revaluation account by 1,000. Now we can go through the profit and loss on revaluation, which is calculated in front of rupees 800 and distributed in old ratio between A and B, 480 and 320. How it came? We can calculate it through revaluation account. So revaluation account is there. You can post all those entries which we have passed in journal entries. To stock 1500, to furniture 1000, provision for doubtful debts 600, and to outstanding electronic bill is 200, and increase in asset was plant and machinery 3000. By plant and machinery, by investment unrecorded asset was there 1000, and decrease in creditors which is not likely to claim was rupees 100, and it will come as by creditor account 100. So total of credit side is 4100, and after balancing this account we get the profit on revaluation, which is transferred to A and B in their ratio 3:2. So in this way we get the amount of revaluation profit of rupees 800. You can go through this account again. You can have an eye. Now we have to prepare the capital account. The solution for capital account is given as by balance brought down. It means A's capital is given 30,000 opening capital, and B's capital 20,000 is given. Second transaction is regarding amount of capital carried on by C. As we have passed the journal entry, bank account debit to C's capital account 15,000, and for premium for goodwill there was a entry for premium for goodwill was premium for goodwill to A's capital, to B's capital 3,000 and 2,000, and revaluation profit was distributed as A 480 and B 320, and we can make the total of this account, and by balancing this account, capital account, we get 33,480 in A's account, and B 22,320, and C's account is with his capital only because he is a new partner in the firm. So students, this is all about revaluation account and capital account and journal entries which we have learned today. I hope you have understood the concept, and you must try the numerical question related to revaluation.